Kulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengabengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, 3 deaths from dengue fever. Super Rugby matches bring sports tourism. An elections office warns about impersonators.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
3 people have died as a result of dengue fever so far this year. Confirming this, the Health Ministry says to date 1,471 positive dengue cases have been recorded. Rapate Valeme reports.
The Health Ministry's National Advisor on Communicable Diseases, Dr. Maikama, says this is an increase of 558 cases in just over 2 weeks.
The update that we gave was on the 1st of May. We had 913 cases then. Which implies a almost 60% increase from that period until now.
Of the confirmed cases, Dr. Kama says 736 cases are from the Central Division.
Most of the cases that have been registered are coming from the Suva-Nosori corridor, including the Greater Suva and Nosori area. There are also cases from Korovo, Netasiri, and also Seru Namosi. So this is where the focus of dengue fever are at the moment.
He adds 553 cases have been recorded in the Western Division and 182 cases are from the North, where 95% were registered in Lambasa alone.
So out of all these total case numbers, about 12% of them have been admitted to hospital. We've had 3 deaths so far associated with dengue fever.
Dr. Kama says though the numbers are low when compared to other outbreaks, there is a huge risk of it exploding. More than 90% of the registered cases have been treated. Meanwhile, the ministry is working with municipal councils conducting awareness and cleanup campaigns.
Public, in a sense that they need to ensure that the environment is clean.
The Health Ministry has been conducting chemical spraying in hotspot areas in Suva and Nosori corridor. The health officials will carry out similar exercises in the Northern and Western Division. Rapate Valeme, FBC News.
In light of the international Super Rugby match on Friday, talks about tapping into sports tourism has been passed around. Rachel Nath caught up with those in the tourism sector who say this opportunity is one that must be utilised to its full potential.
After successfully hosting their home game against the Crusaders in 2016, the Chiefs are back again this year. The choice commercially viable for the Chiefs and another boost for our growing tourism sector.
Exposure that Fiji gets when the Super 15 rugby games are phenomenal. And similar to the golf, similar to the world surfing competition that we have. And it is a segment that we intend to grow as much as we can. We're getting known as a sports tourism destination. We're holding international events.
Fantastic opportunity not only for, Fiji is a rugby-loving nation, but also to put Fiji very firmly on the map as, having the ability to put on a show like for Super Rugby.
The Super Rugby match itself has already generated a huge fan following overseas, resulting in airlines scheduling temporary direct flights to Fiji.
We need to develop more and more, and we do have plans, we think about plans that we need to put in place with respect to growing that segment of tourism.
These are sporting complexes, say between the Nadi to Singatoka corridor, because the bulk of our accommodation is actually available in the West. But the sporting facilities and complexes are actually here in Suva.
With an already booming tourism sector and sports being second only to religion for most Fijians, combining the 2 ingredients could be a match made in heaven for the Fijian economy. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Fiji is ready to host one of its biggest international matches between Crusaders and Chiefs on Friday night. We now join our sports reporter Vashnil Prasad, who's with Chone Madilai and Israel DAGG. Vashnil, how's the atmosphere at the hotel?
Yes, Jackie, as the fans await for one of the Super Rugby's biggest clash here in Suva on Friday night, Crusaders versus Chiefs. And here with me is two of the superstars of Crusaders, one of our very own and local, Chone Madhilai, and All Black Israel DAGG. First, I'll go with our local boy here. Chone, how's home for you and being back for the second time with Crusaders?
Yeah, it's all right, so good. It's good to be back home. Pretty excited, and to see the fans and the family.
Israel, I believe you were injured and this is your last wait before you go back on the field. How's things shaping up and how's your injury?
Injury's good. Just another process. I had to come over here and kind of get in the mix, start training with the boys, and hopefully looking to play some footy next week. But you know, I played a game last week with Johnny back in New Zealand. We played for University Club. It was good fun, but I'm looking forward to getting out there with the boys.
How has been Fiji for you right now, and probably how it will be 80 minutes with the Fijian crowd watching Crusaders?
I love it. I love it here. They're very passionate people, and you know they don't get to see us very often, so they're very excited, and you know, taking lots of photos and signing lots of signatures. It's awesome. But you know, hopefully there's a lot more Crusaders supporters out there and supporting the Crusader boys, because it's going to be a hell of a match, tough match, and it's going to be a good one.
Chone, as for the local player from here, I know Fijian fans, a lot of them are Crusaders. What are you anticipating on the match day?
There'll be lots of Crusader fans here, and they're also looking forward to the game. Because as you've seen, as we arrived in Nosori, lots of the fans were waiting for us, and yeah, it's going to be a good match today, this Friday, and looking forward to it.
Just before I sign off, one last question. Any Itoke Fijian words you have learned Israel so far here in Fiji?
Vadava Jiko, Vanaka, and thank you for having us.
There you go. The Crusaders are ready, as you know. They are gelling in our culture here, and hope the fans turn out in numbers to support the Crusaders come Friday. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Vashnil. Two reports of people impersonating elections office staff have been referred to the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. Election Supervisor Mohammed Saneem says the individuals were going door to door, collecting signatures and personal details of voters. Agusita Tale reports.
The reports of impersonation have come from the north and are now being investigated by FIJI.
There are some individuals that are going around the country and they are collecting signatures and voter details from Fijians by presenting themselves as Fijian Elections Office officials. I'd like to categorically state that the Fijian Elections Office does not engage in sending individual persons around the country without any identification to the field.
The National Voter Registration Drive will begin next Monday, ending on 1st July. All officials will carry identification and wear clearly printed bibs.
If either of the IDs are not produced, or if the person is not wearing a bib but has an ID, I would still encourage you to not deal with the person.
Saneem says the FEO is not in the business of going door to door, and Fijians should not divulge any information if they have doubts about a person's credentials.
The FEO's voter registration teams will be deployed to all divisions in Fiji, with our teams visiting villages, settlements and other communities in the coming weeks.
Voter registration booths will be set up at supermarkets and other busy locations, while teams will visit schools to sign up youth who are 18 or will be in time for elections next year. Akusita Tali, FBC News.
The Fijian government is in talks with universities in New Zealand to help find solutions to the skilled labour shortage. This issue was highlighted during the New Zealand-Fiji Business Council meeting in Suva today. Savara Tumbur reports.
These relations between Fiji and New Zealand are extending beyond commercial activity, with educational needs taking priority. Fiji's ambassador to New Zealand, Philemoni Wangambada, says while he is actively seeking out new business ventures, he's also made many visits to universities and technical colleges.
It's not only to talk with our diaspora, talk with businesses, talk with chambers of commerce. I also visit the universities in those regions to inquire about the types of programs that they offer and how some of those programs would meet the demands that we have in Fiji.
Wangambada says young Fijians also need to open their minds from common fields such as law and accounting and seek new opportunities. Acting Prime Minister Aya Sayed Kayum says efforts have been made to ensure more skilled workers are based in the country.
The government is very much here to provide an enabling environment for investors. And it's not just the traditional investors as such, but also more to open up the doors to get the knowledge base that we perhaps lack.
Ambassador Wangambada believes that there needs to be awareness of the broad range of areas available and the possibility of overseas education, all designed to meet the needs of the Fijian market. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
Alleged serial rapist Chosua Dolanandolu, who allegedly impregnated a woman in his community more than a decade ago, had confessed to police that he had a baby with the victim. This was revealed by state witness, Detective Simeone Nakuna, in the Suva High Court this morning. Shireen Shivan reports.
The trial involving one of the high-profile rape cases in Fiji entered its fourth day today, and state witness who interviewed accused Joshua Dolanandolu last year told the court some of the confessions made by him after his arrest. Detective Simeone Nakuna says in his caution interview, Dolanandolu told the police that he had sex with the first alleged victim at his home countless times. He also told police that he never forced the woman as she was his girlfriend at that time. Dolanandolu allegedly told the police that he forced the second victim to smoke and drink and also threatened to kill her so that she could calm down and have sex with him. He reportedly told the police the third victim grew up with him and also confessed that he raped her as well. The fourth victim in this case is a 14-year-old girl who was allegedly abducted, raped and murdered in Deumba last year. This afternoon, police detective confirmed Dolanandolu had confessed raping the girl and had told police that he wanted to seek forgiveness from the girl's family. Dolanandolu is facing multiple charges of abduction, rape and murder, and also indecently annoying a female. The matter will continue in the Suva High Court tomorrow. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Still to come, recognizing the rights of minority groups and unregistered helipads to be inspected. Details after the break.
Nimbula vinaka na yavangunga andi moala radada ranalika o tikongona tau no Singatoka ando talitaka na vakaronga ng Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora subuli kurna bili. Ibora ni batsukara hambara binaranga. Do talitaki na vakaronga ng Bula FM number 2 na serre. Bula!
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
The illegal drug trade in the Pacific region is increasing, encouraging more local production and consumption. Oceania Customs Organization Head of Secretariat Seve Peinu told FBC News that methamphetamine is the most prolific illegally distributed drug in the region, as its value and demand in the market are high. Kelly Vavala reports.
Methamphetamine, commonly known as ice, is a stimulant drug usually used as a white bitter-tasting powder or a pill which has
illegal drug trafficking has been caused by a number of factors. One is that there are a number of source countries that are marketing and trading in these illegal drug traffic, especially from North America and also the Asian markets.
Operations Manager Tevita Tupo says illicit tobacco is also one of the most traded components in the region, and a multi-agency approach is needed to address the issue.
The concern is really the spin-off of meth within some of the sub-regional geographical hubs. You have Fiji, you have Guam, you have those in Samoa and Tonga. The social impact that it has a far-reaching effect.
The OCO says organized crime groups are becoming increasingly attracted to illegal drug transportation across the region, and illicit tobacco have drained government budget and also severely undermines public health. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia and Biphobia, commonly known as IDAHOT, was celebrated today. Marking the occasion, the Fiji Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission launched a promotional video that speaks on the global campaign theme, Love Makes a Family. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Across the world, people suffer from violence and discrimination.
A minute of silence, remember those who died as a result of homophobia. While the day began somber, the aim was to celebrate the triumphs and challenges of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex and queer community.
But yes, for me, it's important that we continue this celebration and also having to make sure there's a recognition.
Methodist Church pastor Reverend Jeremiah WAQAINABETE highlighted the Christian teachings of equality.
John 3:16, for God so loved the world. That love encompasses all. In my understanding, it also highlights the fact that we are all equal.
The Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission, IDAHOT, meant the launch of their promotional video focused on the global theme.
This video has got a very, very simple message about the importance of love, and the theme this year, of course, is about the importance of love, because love is what makes a family.
Love makes a family. Accept us for who we are.
The video launched today to mark the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia and Biphobia is expected to at least start conversations about embracing diversity, irrespective of sexual preferences. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Only 4 out of more than 40 helipads around Fiji have been registered, including those at hospitals and operating out of hotels. Akusita Tale reports this is a challenge for the Civil Aviation Authority.
The Civil Aviation Authority has to inspect and register all helicopter landing sites. However, this would be a huge cost to resorts and hospitals because they have to bring the helipads up to the International Civil Aviation Organization standards.
So we have a standard that's been created here in Fiji to accommodate those resorts and HLSs. It's a very long, quite a difficult process because we have to wait for the construction work upgrades to take place before we can get a sign-off, and then there's staff training and other stuff that needs to go with that.
One of the 4 registered helipads include this newly opened one at the Lautoka Hospital, but the 2 big ones, Lautoka Hospital and the CWM Hospital in Suva, aren't certified. Health Minister Rosie Akbar told FBC News she's not aware of this, but CAF aims to work with the ministry to register all its helipads.
We consider this to be a model for HLSs for hospitals in Fiji. It's adjacent to the accident emergency entrance. It's on the ground level.
Captain KENSINGTON has also confirmed the exercise will take at least 5 years as it involves a lot of work and is a demanding task. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Climate change, disaster preparedness and health issues will be some of the major issues discussed at the India-Pacific Island Sustainable Development Conference later this month. Indian High Commissioner to Fiji, Vishwas Sapkal, says 14 Pacific Island countries will be part of the conference in Suva on the 24th and 25th of this month. Sapkal says the conference will facilitate the exchange of knowledge and experience and initiate partnerships and collaboration for the benefit of all participating countries.
Two-day conference will be basically focusing issues which are concerned with the Pacific Island countries. Blue economy, which is very important, as you know, adaptation and mitigation for the climate change, disaster preparedness, health issues, healthcare.
Ahead in sports, Jamie will have the latest on teams preparing for the Fiji FAC tournament, but joining us next is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Pacific TAFE sponsors Human Resources Convention. And in growing Fiji, Red Cross to open more centres in maritime zones. Stay with us.
I'm Andrea Sorbokroa of Neabu Wenibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business, the University of the South Pacific Technical and Further Education has handed over $10,000 to sponsor the Fiji Human Resource Institute National Convention on October 27 and 28. Professor Rajesh Chandra, Vice Chancellor and President of USP, presented the check to the President of FHRI. Professor Chandra says USP is committed to ensuring the relationship with professional bodies and the industry promotes work placement to help guide curriculum. The university has also welcomed an opportunity to place some USP students in the FHRI network to get real work experience. Well, markets remain unpredictable as new economic news comes out. Here's Savanatha from HFC Bank with the details.
Vinaka Rachel. Following up from yesterday's economic news, we had strong European Union data as their trade balance for March passed a consensus of 18.8 billion to reach 23.1 billion. Leading to a strengthening of the euro today. Moving to the United States, we saw a weaker US dollar today as their housing starts for April fell to 1.17 million when it was expected to rise to 1.26 million from 1.20. The US economic data and the political situation has been causing volatility in the markets. There is a rising concern over the administration's chances of passing legislations, including tax reform, already taken into consideration by the financial markets. The major U.S. stock indices remain at or near records high, supported by the strongest earnings seasons for the S&P 500 components since 2011. That's a wrap from me, Vinaka Rachel.
Thanks, Savanatha. On to today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar continues its upwards trend for 3 days now as the Chinese yuan and the American dollar strengthen to close at 3.22 and 46 cents respectively. Closer to home, the Australian and New Zealand dollars strengthened to close at 62 and 67 cents while the PNG Kina closed at 1.30. On to the commodities market, an increase across the index as oil prices rose to close at 48.66 a barrel. Gold closed at 1,237 an ounce and silver closed at $16.89 an ounce. In Growing Fiji tonight, Red Cross Fiji will open new offices in the Maritime Islands, including Rotuma, Koro, Vanuatu, Lakemba, Rambi and Kandavu by the end of next month. Director General Philippe Nainother says this will help strengthen Fiji Red Cross Society's preparedness in the Eastern, Northern, Western and Central divisions with a focus on maritime zones. Nainother says the new office locations will act as emergency operation centers.
Under less than 24 hours, Fiji Red Cross, as the cyclone passes, is able to immediately respond in the islands where we have the storage facilities and then to the neighboring islands.
And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Vinaka Rachel and good evening. In sports tonight, Super Rugby ticket sales pick up and 40-member contingent for Youth Commonwealth Games. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टॉक हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Ticket sales have picked up for the big Super Rugby clash between the Chiefs and Crusaders on Friday night. Director Ticket Direct Matthew Davies says sales started slow but momentum has gained. He adds they expect more fans to buy tickets at the venue on game day.
We've got plenty of great tickets left. We're looking at a similar crowd to last year, so the game will sell out, and we're hoping that that will happen probably sometime on Friday. We'll see the last ones go out the door. But what I encourage everybody to do is to get out, buy their tickets at the stadium or online at ticketdirect.com.fj, so that your friends, your family, and yourselves can all make it to the game and nobody misses out.
Meanwhile, the host team for Friday's matchup, the Chiefs, had a close training session today at the ANZ Stadium. But Meli Tavanga has managed to get Michael Leach at his hotel team base and joins us now live from the Novotel in Lamy. Meli.
Yes, Jamie, I'm here with Michael Leach. For those of you who might not be aware of him, Michael Leach has a link to Fiji. Michael's mom is originally from Nasuka Mahindra. Michael, how has it been for the past 2 days here for you in Fiji?
No, it's been great. We arrived here yesterday. Unfortunately, it was a bit wet, but we've enjoyed our stay so far.
You know, Crusaders have 3 Fijian players who will be playing for them. You'll be the only one for Chiefs. How do you look at that? How do you look at the support coming Friday?
I've got a lot of family coming from the west. We've got a bus organised, starting from Tavua, going to Rakiraki to pick up the gang from Nasuka Mai, so I'm looking forward to all their support.
So apart from Super Rugby, I know there's a big task ahead of you for the Japan rugby. Looking at Japan, about the pool games, how do you look at the pool games? Looking at Japan being drawn to with Scotland, how do you look at the pool games?
I think we're pretty fortunate to have good 2 Northern Hemisphere teams in our pool. We've got Ireland and Scotland. I think we've got Ireland in the June test, so if we can knock them off, give us a good chance to make the quarterfinals.
And that's all from here. Michael, to you and for the team, good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Jamie.
Our former Fiji Mbati winger Sisa Wanga is likely to make his return to the national team for the Rugby League World Cup in Australia. Wanga recently returned to Melbourne after a short stint with French rugby union club FC Grenoble ended with a broken jaw. He is set to return to the NRL after signing a training contract with the Melbourne Storm. However, Melbourne Storm football director Frank Punisi says a decision on whether or not to sign Wanga will be made before June 30th in order for him to be eligible to play for the remainder of the season. Vodafone Fiji Sevens forward Mesulame Kunavula has been ruled out of the London tournament this weekend. Kunavula suffered a leg injury last weekend at the Paris Sevens and is expected to take more than a month to recover. Wardens forward Joshua Kurinambili is likely to be drafted in as a replacement forward and in the process make his debut for Fiji. The national seven side is grouped with New Zealand, Canada and Japan for the England tournament. After being postponed a week due to unfavorable weather conditions, the Fiji Football Association is raring to get the Vodafone Fiji Fact underway in Nausori tomorrow. Teams have had extra time to prepare and Fiji FA expect them to come out firing in its first tournament of the year. Rohit Deo has more.
All set for the kick-off of the first tournament of the year.
We have done all the logistics of Vodafone Fiji Fact, and yeah, we are prepared for the tournament from tomorrow. We had some hiccups.
Host Rewa will be one of the top bets, but will be under added pressure.
It's a home ground. It's a tournament that we need to compete. We need to be brave enough to make sure that we fight off any challenges.
Defending champions Nandi is also looking good and will be a hard team to beat.
About 4 new players in our team. We are not really thinking of the tournament. We are thinking to develop these new 4 players to coming up. Maybe not this tournament, it might be the future of BOG or IDC.
Lautoka is unbeaten locally this year and will look to continue with the impressive form.
I think everybody is talking about Lautoka, but no team is replaceable. Any team can beat any team at the moment, and I think Lautoka can be beaten.
The tournament starts at 1 PM tomorrow with Rakiraki playing Suva in the opening match. In other matches on the first day, Mba takes on Nandi, Lambasa battles Treketi while Rewa plays Lautoka. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
A 40-member team will represent Fiji at the 2017 Commonwealth Youth Games in the Bahamas. The event is for athletes between the ages of 14 and 18. Meli Tavanga has more.
2 months from the games, Team Fiji is working on administrative matters which need to be sorted before departure.
A lot of the visa processes as well that we're hoping to get out of the way. Rugby have just completed their trials last week, so they're in the process of selecting their final squad.
Chef de Mission Tom Tiko has acknowledged the assistance provided by the Fiji Sports Commission.
The Fiji Sports Commission, that's sort of reduced the amount of levies that the athletes will be paying. It's a minimal. We're trying to reduce it as much as possible.
Fiji Athletics is preparing 3 athletes considered to be the best for gold in the Commonwealth Youth Games.
Waisia from Maris Brothers, Colin Yeo from QVS, and Helena Young from St. Joseph. So, as you can see, these are one of the up-and-coming athletes that we have, and we have basically earmarked them for future competitions.
Fiji will compete in athletics, sevens, rugby, tennis and swimming. The games will be held from July 19th to the 23rd in the Bahamas. Melitawanga, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports this evening. Angie joins you later on with a weather update. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, the classroom isn't the only place where kids can learn. The circus can also provide an education. Find out more after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko agaw sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gagawin sa bale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
As technology has advanced over the years, the graphing calculators have stayed pretty much the same. Now there may be an alternative for high school students. Angie joins us now with the very latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. The weather looks quite pissed for some reason. I mean, one moment there's clear blue skies and the other there's rain. But cool winds are blowing by and taking away all the mugginess, which is a good thing, of course. Looking at today in the west, there was a mixture of sun and rain with temps reaching up to the low 30s. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was sunny for some bit, but cloudy periods took charge. And up in Vanuatu, clouds also covered much of the area with rain likely for tonight. At sea, easterly winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, the high tide tonight will be at 11:42 with the low tide tomorrow morning at 5:36. Sunrise will be at 6:26. For tomorrow, it will be a carbon copy of today. Tomorrow's temps, Savu Savu will be the coolest spot with a high of 28 and a low of 25. Looking further on to Jolly Good Friday, possible heavy showers are indicated. However, as the day goes on, the showers will ease. And that, Jackie, is FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji Impulse today, we asked, should Fiji's political history be introduced in the school curriculum?
From my point of view, I think this is a good idea because students can get to know what has happened in previous years.
Yes, it's about time that students of Fiji learn and know about the history of Fiji.
Yes, I think it's a good way for them to know it because to let them know what happened in the previous years in Fiji.
I think it's a good idea so that the children nowadays they can know what's the history from the past.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, the classroom isn't the only place where children can learn. The circus can also provide an education. Recapping the main stories, 3 deaths from dengue fever, Super Rugby matches bring sports tourism, an elections office warns about impersonators. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should Fiji have a team in the Super Rugby competition? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day is from Nausori. This shows the sunset at Vunivivi Hill, Nausori, and was taken by Serambani Vanua. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
हमारा नाम संत कुमार है। हम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है और ताबुआ में सबसे बेहाल रेडियो फीजी 2 है यार।
हम बिना विमलेश रकाविंदी ताबुआ से रेडियो फीजी 2 हमारा सबसे फेवरेट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम ब्रूस राव है, रेकी मार्केट वेंडा और रेडियो फीजी 2 देश के धड़कन 1954 से हम सुनता है।
हम कबूली ताबुआ रहता है। हमारा नाम है रमेश चंद और हमारी मछली के धंधा है और हम सब टाइम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।